Welcome to SV Capital's A Year in Review webinar. My name is Linda Batwa, and I'm the Group Marketing Manager here at SV Capital. And it's a pleasure to have you join us today. We just thought we should give everyone 2 minutes because I see that there are some people who are still joining. So they'll catch up with us as we go along. We're particularly excited to have both our long-standing clients who have been with us since 2017, as well as those who are new to SV Capital. We'd really like to thank you for being a part of this journey. Today's session will focus on reflecting on 2024, providing updates on our progress, and introducing some exciting developments for the year ahead. Just a quick note, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel for anyone who is unable to join us live, or if you would like to refer back to it at a later stage. To get started, I'll be handing over to our speakers for the day, our co-founders, Ayanda Majola, who is our CEO, and Kagiso Tloubatla, who is our COO, and they will be guiding us through an update on SV Capital's performance, our investment products, and key partnerships. Kagiso will also provide a live demo of our new platform, showcasing some of the exciting features available. We will open the floor for questions at the end of each segment. Please will you raise your hand when the floor opens, and we'll invite you to speak. You'll find a hand raise button at the bottom of your screen. Alternatively, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat and we'll address as many as time permits. Please keep your questions brief and to the point so that everyone has an opportunity to participate. And comments are also welcomed as well. Ayanda and Kagiso, over to you.
Okay.
So, sorry, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, and then just to check, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think you need to. Okay, so I think I'll just take it from the top because it seems like the first part of what I was saying was not heard by the majority of investors. So I'll start again. So once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today in our webinar. In every journey, taking time to reflect on progress and celebrating key milestones is essential for growth and inspiration. Today's webinar is dedicated to exactly that. We're revisiting SV Capital's core mission and providing a comprehensive update on the past year's progress and achievements. SV Capital offers innovative investment products in South Africa, where we specialize in physical assets to help investors achieve their financial goals. Our mission is to democratize investments, making them accessible, transparent, and easy to understand for all. We are committed to empowering investors not just to build wealth, but to do so on their own terms through assets that truly resonate with them. When looking at SV Capital structure, it's important for us to always highlight the relationship between SmartVest Financial Services and SV Capital. All funds collected from investors are managed by SmartVest Financial Services, who is a licensed financial services provider and is regulated by the FSCA. Why we've done this is we want to ensure compliance, security, and peace of mind for you as the investor. With SmartVest Financial Services handling the funds and deposits that we receive from investors, SV Capital then focuses on product development and also product management. Our products are designed to resonate with the African concept of value, where we've moved away from complex instruments and are focused on providing simpler investment alternatives. Through investing with us as an investor, you gain diversification and a new asset class that you wouldn't necessarily have access to in the normal world. With the combination of SV Capital's innovation and SmartVest Financial Services oversight, this creates a secure, diversified investment platform for you, our investor. On this slide, we're going to illustrate the partnership between SmartVest Financial Services and SV Capital. As mentioned, SmartVest Financial Services is a licensed FSCA-regulated financial services provider and manages all funds and deposits that we've received from our clients, ensuring compliance and security and peace of mind from your perspective as an investor. SV Capital is the product house, where SV Capital develops innovative products and also is involved in strategic investment management, delivering cutting-edge opportunities for our investors. When going on to the next slide, we're going to focus on what the core pillars are for SV Capital and our investment products. The first pillar is asset-backed investment. We look to give investors access to real, tangible investments for stability and security. Our second pillar is to democratize investments, and we look to make investments accessible and inclusive for all, not just a select few. The third pillar is attractive returns. And as always, our goal is to deliver attractive returns and to put wealth into the hands of the broader market. And lastly, the fourth pillar is impact focus, where we're looking to bridge the gap between investor returns and responsible investing by aligning financial growth with responsible investing. Now we're going to have a look at our investment products, our existing portfolio of products. And Kagiso will take us through what our current suite looks like. Now, for our existing investors, you are well versed with our products and probably are well aware of how these products operate. But for our newer investors who have come to find out more about how our products operate, this is the best time to listen in and hear more details on our products.
Thanks, Ayanda. So as Ayanda said, our existing clients already know a bit about our products, but it doesn't hurt to have a refresher. I'll start off with our cattle investment product, which is our flagship product. So this product has been SV Capital since the beginning, since 2017, and was launched in September. So our cattle investment product facilitates a partnership with experienced and reputable farmers in South Africa and gives you the opportunity to invest in the agricultural sector. So as an investor, you will contribute to a collective herd of cattle, which will be expertly managed by these farmers that we partner with. Our partnership is currently with a company called Beefcore. They're based in Bronkhorstspruit, and a little bit later on in the presentation, we'll get into depth and give you a really good overview of who they are and what it really physically looks like, what the farm really looks like. And the cattle that we have on Beefcore's farm is backgrounded, and it sits there for approximately a period of about 60 days. What are the benefits in this investment? So you actively participating in South Africa's vibrant agricultural sector, focusing on the livestock industry, which is a critical backbone of the economy. So this investment does not only offer attractive returns, but also supports the growth and sustainability of the agricultural sector in South Africa. The returns on average have been 14.83% per annum, and this is average since inception. So this return is also net of any fees or any costs. The second product we'll go into is a product called the short-term investment. Sorry, just to go back, just to slightly highlight, the Cattle investment is a 12-month investment. So 12 months you invest, and at the end of the 12-month period, you have the option to either cash out your investment, pay out the return portion, add more funds, or reinvest all the money. The short-term investment, short-term investment specifically is designed as a vehicle to seek capital growth over a shorter period of time, over a 5-month period of time. So the investment period here is 5 months, and we partner with a company called Mulelen, which is a boutique finance house that partners with SMMEs, that it funds SMMEs tenders and purchase orders, and it makes sure it helps manage that, to make sure that once the PO or the tender is financed, that we are able to collect the funds. So Mulelen has got a long history of working with SMMEs, and also later on in the presentation, we'll get into a little bit more of who Mulelen is, so you can get a bit of a color of the type of businesses that we partner with. The benefits of investing in the short-term investment is that the period is short, so it's a 5-month period. You have the opportunity to support SMMEs in South Africa that typically don't get funding. And SMMEs form an integral part of job creation and economic growth in the South African spectrum. The returns for this investment on average have been 13.92% per annum. So the return is annualized in this instance, but the product is a 5-month product. So we've annualized the returns in order to make it very easy for you to be able to compare which product might best suit you. And the last investment that we have available at the moment is the delivery bike investment. And the delivery bike investment is giving the client the opportunity to invest in the delivery bike sector, the booming delivery bike sector in South Africa. So that's really providing you the ability to invest in the bikes that you see on the road that the guys from Mr. D or Uber Eats or Take a Lot are riding. We partner with a company called On Fleet, which specializes with third-party, which is a fleet management business, which basically is the business that manages the riders and is the one that deploys the motorbikes. The benefits of investing in this is, e-commerce or last mile delivery is one of the fastest growing sectors in South Africa, and it gives you the opportunity to participate in something like that, where typically you'd never have the option or the opportunity to invest in something like that. So this is quite forward thinking. This is quite a very different investment. So we give you the ability to invest in the physical motorbike and essentially earn rentals on that bike. The investment period here is 18 months. And on average, the returns have been 12.05 per annum when annualized. But yeah, it's been a good business since we started it, and we've had the opportunity to really play an integral role in the e-commerce space, all thanks to our clients. So who can invest with us? So individuals can invest with us, stokvels, investment clubs, family groups, companies and trusts can invest with us. We also have the option for minors to invest with us. So if you do have young ones, you have the option to actually create an account for them, and you can invest on their behalf as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that, Kagiso. So at this juncture, we're going to jump straight into the investments updates for this webinar. So we're going to start off by looking at our key milestones. So as it stands, we currently manage over 156 million rand in investor funds, demonstrating the trust and confidence our investors have placed in us. Our investor base has grown to more than 3,700 clients, reflecting both our reputation in the market and growing demand for our services. To date, we've successfully distributed 57.4 million rand to our clients, highlighting our commitment on delivering on our promises and providing tangible value to you as our investor. And lastly, we've created over 450 permanent and part-time jobs, contributing to employment and economic growth in South Africa. When looking at the products and the underlying and operational environment in each product, we're going to do a deep dive on how the operational environment was in the past year. So starting with the cattle investment, in 2024, South Africa's cattle industry saw notable growth and transformation, marked by increased production and expanded export markets. Beef production increased by 5.5%, driven by a range of factors, including approval of beef exports to Saudi Arabia after a 2-decade pause, which now has contributed to the upwards trend in the industry. Beef for our partner farmer currently ranks as the 5th largest feedlot in South Africa, demonstrating consistent strong performance and efficient cattle management. The outlook for the beef market in 2025 remains with a major focus on export expansions and the expectation of improved consumer spending. As it stands, we currently have 16,538 heads of cattle on Beef Force Farm, and we still have a 100% mortality guarantee on the herd that is currently sitting on the farm. And when looking at the returns, over the past 12 months, we have delivered a robust average return of 14% on the cattle investment. Returns definitely have fluctuated in the past 12 months, ranging between 13% to 15%. However, we've consistently outperformed our benchmark rate of 13%. We're now looking at the short-term investment. Our short-term investment participates in the purchase order finance space. And when we look at the operational environment, we know that the purchase order financing has become a crucial tool for South African businesses, especially SMMEs, because it helps them manage their cash flows and to fulfill larger orders. With a significant portion of the South African population and businesses lacking access to traditional banking services, purchase order financing is playing an essential role in enhancing financial inclusion. We have seen growth amongst the SMMEs that we've worked with and that we've supported, as they are now being awarded larger contracts thanks to their delivery and minimal challenges in securing funding. As it stands, we are actively exploring other opportunities in the private lending space, including bridging finance and asset finance, to integrate into our offering and to further support business growth in the segment. Over the past 12 months, we have successfully funded 43 projects, and we've created more than 300 part-time, casual, and permanent jobs. When looking at the returns, we've been able to deliver a robust average return of 6.88% on the short-term investments, and the returns have definitely fluctuated in the last 12 months, and that range is normally between 5 to 8%. However, we've consistently outperformed our benchmark rate of 5%. Now, when looking at our delivery bike investment, we note that in 2024, South Africa's delivery bike sector experienced significant growth, which was driven by the expanding e-commerce market and the rising demand for efficient last-mile delivery solutions. The e-commerce sector in South Africa is projected to reach 400 billion rand by 2027, significantly increasing the demand for reliable delivery services and further fueling growth in the delivery bike industry. This growth has resulted in a substantial increase in the number of delivery motorcycles that are currently on the road. And nationwide, as it stands, it's estimated that there's about 50,000 motorcycles that are currently operating on the roads. The rapid expansion of the delivery bike sector has opened up investment opportunities with a focus on supporting the growing demand for logistics and delivery services. To date, we've acquired 364 bikes, with 157 of those bikes being fully paid off and owned by the riders. As you know, with our delivery bike investment, we enter into an 18-month contract with the riders, and it's on a rent-to-own basis. So once we get to the end of the investment term, that being the 18 months, ownership of the asset does fall onto the rider, which means we are constantly creating sustainable jobs and creating micro enterprises, encouraging riders to come back and use the same asset to generate an income to support their families. When looking at the returns over the past 12 months, we have delivered an average return of 17.67% on the delivery bike investment. This is slightly below the benchmark rate of 20%. This underperformance is primarily due to a rise in accident and theft incidents that involve e-bikes. In response, we have implemented key risk mitigants, including upgrading our tracking hardware for enhanced security and actively managing our pipeline to ensure we recruit high-quality riders. Now that we've spent time looking at the past year and the past performance, it's a good opportunity for us to reflect on what's to come in the new year. We are currently working on several innovative products set to launch in this new year. These new offerings are designed to enhance efficiency, drive growth, and provide even greater value to you as our clients. As it starts, we are looking at developing an exciting property investment aimed at delivering sustainable returns while supporting the growing affordable housing sector in the country. We are also actively exploring opportunities in the renewable energy sector, and this is aimed at creating innovative solutions for sustainable energy. Our goal with this is to develop solutions that provide long-term value, contribute to impactful energy solutions that benefit both businesses and communities. We are also actively exploring opportunities in the commodity sector, seeking to capitalize its potential for growth and stability. Our goal is to develop solutions that provide a new avenue for diversification, ensuring stability and long-term value for our investments. As we all know, commodities continue to be a tangible and resilient asset class that offers a strong foundation in times of volatility in the market. So stay tuned for more details as we work through these exciting additions, because we honestly cannot wait to share them with you as our investors. Now we've gotten to the part where we're going to introduce our partners that we've worked with across all our products. Now, the partner companies we've worked with, we've selected intentionally so because they play a pivotal role in ensuring that we're able to provide our investment products to you as our clients, but also for us to be able to deliver on our returns. We will be introducing our farming partner, a company called Beefcore, who we've been in partnership with for the past 4 to 5 years. In addition to that, we'll also introduce OnFleet, who's a fleet management specialist who helps us manage our delivery bikes in the delivery bike investment. And then lastly, we're going to be introduced to Moodleland, who's our purchase order and financing specialist, who's assisted us to deploy the short-term investments funds and effectively manage those funds. So this is a great time for us to go through the videos and to introduce you guys to our partners.
Operating on approximately 3,100 hectares to the east of Pretoria, South Africa's capital city, lies Beefcore, one of the leading beef-producing companies in the country. The company has a long-standing history from 1973 that had its origins in one of SA's large corporations, Imperial Cold Storage. After its unbundling in 1999, a successful management buyout set a new path for the company seeking its place in a post-deregulated meat industry. The close-knit family culture of the company afforded it the opportunity to focus energy, ensure a performance drive, and grow the business over time to its current market position and capacity. Cattle production capacity. The company that had investments downstream into abattoir, deboning meat and wholesale, again changed tact when it divested from this in order to become a sought-after supplier of choice quality cattle to abattoirs that are both non-integrated and integrated. With capacity to stock 44,000 head of cattle, it ranks in the top 5 slaughter cattle producers in the country. Processes. Beefcore follows a process of buying weaner calves from FMD-free areas and places them out to pasture for a period of 63 days on a high-pressure grazing system. Calves are provided with fresh areas of pasture every day and are also given controlled supplementary feed rations. This enables the growth of a lean and healthy muscular frame that adapts better to growth curves during the 133 days it will spend in the feedlot. A system known as recompensatory growth that enables adding more weight to a carcass and drives efficient production. A successful feedlot needs to constantly monitor its production key performance indicators to ensure that production operates correctly and the animals are well cared for. To this end, Beef Corps is proud that it operates with lower than industry standard mortality rates and excellent average daily gain, ADG, and feed conversion ratios, FCR. It has full view of production statistics and individual animal traceability through its industry-renowned Gigalot system that tracks all the important KPIs. Its computerized feeding system ensures that feed is delivered through its feed mixing and feed wagon system to the right cattle pens at the right time and in the right quantity and quality. Another key factor in the success of Beef Corps is having access to good quality and well-priced feed raw materials. Beef Corps is well situated in the yellow maize production area and close to major maize mills. This provides it with options to ensure best price production input cost. Using primarily hominy chop, a byproduct of ground white maize production for human consumption or yellow maize, should this be more cost-effective on energy and protein basis. Use of hominy chop also has the added benefit of not utilizing human food crops but adding to its efficient production utilization insofar as utilizing its byproduct and therefore reducing cost of the human consumption product. Another key factor is its own drying plant situated close to the SAB, AB InBev breweries, where Beef Corps has a long-standing supply agreement for off-take of spent brewer's grain that significantly reduces feed production cost. A well-oiled machine such as Beef Corps has many moving parts, and keeping it moving, so to speak, is the ability to integrate logistics of an owned fleet of cattle trucks and contracted fleet services. Owned cattle trucks are maintained by an equipped in-house and on-site diesel workshop. Constant maintenance of a working farm that is also constantly upgrading and expanding warrants the in-house maintenance team that has the necessary experience to tackle the broad range of technical challenges that they deal with daily. All of this cannot operate well without the due care of the people that have to drive performance every day. Beef Corps has a management team that has a passion for the farm life and live the company mission daily of its reason for existence. 1. Being passionate for caring for livestock and successfully converting it to healthy food. 2. By doing business profitably and sustainably by adding value to all stakeholders. 3. By being a socially and environmentally responsible citizen that contributes positively to its touchpoints.
My name is Balipi Museo, and I'm the Senior Fleet and Financial Manager at OnFleet. I'd like to take a moment to share with you on how OnFleet operates and the value we bring to both our riders and investors. At OnFleet, our mission is to provide accessible, flexible fleet management solutions. We specialize in procuring bikes, which we then rent out to riders on a rent-to-own basis. We receive funds from investors, which allows us to purchase the bikes, tracking devices, and insure the bikes. Once all these components are in place, we prepare the bikes for our riders to collect and start working, which also means they begin generating returns for our investors. As part of our growth strategy, we've added 58 new bikes to our fleet in 2024. A total of 141 riders applied for and collected bikes from us this year. Of these, 58 were brand new bikes, which were purchased in 2024, while the remaining were high-quality second-hand bikes. We continue to evaluate and refine our approach to meet the increasing demand for this opportunity. Some bikes were returned due to various challenges, such as partnerships we explored with existing youth programs that didn't prove successful, theft, or the need for the bikes repaired. We view these instances as learning opportunities, helping us continuously improve our processes and enhance our service. These experiences help us to ensure great success for both our riders and investors. Historically, we relied on referrals to find our riders, which worked well in the beginning. However, as we continue to grow, we've been collaborating with our marketing team to promote the rent-to-own opportunity more broadly through social media. This strategy has helped us reach a much wider audience, connecting us with many more potential riders who can benefit from this flexible and accessible program. As part of our commitment to ensuring that we generate the best returns for our investors, we placed a high value on our due diligence process. The riders are required to submit documentation and proof of earnings as part of the application process. This rigorous process allows for us to make sure that we are selecting the right candidates while also ensuring that we cover the associated costs like tracking devices, bike maintenance, and insurance. By doing so, we ensure the sustainability and profitability of the program for both riders and investors. Now, to give you a first-hand look at the real impact of our program, I'd like to invite you to hear from one of our riders who will share their experience with us. Their story will provide insight into how our model truly works on the ground and the positive effects it has on their lives.
Hi, my name is Thompson. I'm an on-fleet rider. One of the best things about on-fleet is that I can rent my bike through them and pay it off until I fully own it. This opportunity has made a huge difference in my life. In South Africa, unemployment is very high, and I'm grateful that I can earn a living by working with platforms like Mr. D, Uber Eats, and Checkers. Through this work, I can pay my rent, support my family, and work towards fully owning my bike. Having a reliable source of income gives me peace of mind and the ability to plan for a better future.
We're incredibly proud of the progress we've made so far. With each new step, we are learning, adapting, and refining our model to better serve our riders and provide valuable returns to our investors. The future is bright, and we're excited about what's ahead for OnFleet. I hope this has provided you with a clear understanding of how OnFleet operates, the key aspects of our business, and the value we aim to bring to all stakeholders involved.
Hi, my name is Dudu Zondo, and I'm the head of Mulaland. At Mulaland, we offer accessible funding for Black-owned SMEs in South Africa to help grow and reach their potential. Within the last 12 months, we have funded over 18 different businesses across a variety of different sectors, such as manufacturing, service, construction, and invoice discounting. One of our key strategies that we've implemented is the funding of Black female-owned businesses, which saw an increase within the last year from 23 to 32%. That is something that we are proud of, to have increased the funding to Black female-owned businesses. Our partnership with SV Capital allows Mulaland to rigorously conduct due diligence process on short-term projects that they will then make funds available through raising of capital through their short-term investment, which then allows Mulaland to fund these short-term projects in an effort to generate returns for investors. With those attractive returns, we're able to also assist Black-owned SMEs in South Africa for them to be able to complete their short-term projects, such as the UJ refurbishment project, as well as the SARS border patrol project as well. These are just examples of some of the projects that Mulaland has used the funds for in an effort to ensure that we are generating attractive returns for investors. Through our funding, companies such as Oratilwe SP Developments, who is a Black female-owned construction company, has been able to complete the projects that they have on hand and able to take on larger projects due to their partnership with Mulaland. In the next video, we will be showcasing more about them.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Masera Setswalo, and I'm the founder of Oratilwe SP Developments, and we are a general building and civil construction company. So in 2024, I was looking for materials funding for a project that we had, and I heard about Mulaland from one of their old clients. I immediately contacted them, and they requested the relevant documents. And in about 4 weeks after they have done their due diligence, the funds were paid to the suppliers for the materials that I needed. And what I appreciated the most is that they also followed up with those suppliers in terms of the manufacturing processes and pushing the delivery lead time to our sites. So for that, I would like to thank Mulaland, and I would contact them again when we do have projects.
Thank you so much for that. So as we've
Looking
just
ahead to 2025, the planned changes we have to our offerings is something that is going to be exciting for both clients and investors alike. And we want to ensure that the returns that we put out to our investors are still attractive and competitive, while also ensuring that our client service is still top notch. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So as we've just showcased, those are our three partners that we work very close with to ensure that we're able to provide our products to you as our investor. Our relationship has fostered a really good base because we've gotten to a point where we've got a trusted relationship with our partners, and we have a very transparent and open and honest relationship with our partners. Now we've gotten to a point where we're going to take any questions, and I'm going to ask my colleague Udi to run the questions for us, and that was an
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. Sound good? Okay. So,
double check that everyone can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking that everyone can hear me now. Perfect.
Yes.
So yes, the business does and is affected by that, and that is charged on all the businesses. Because we are in the business of buying and selling goods, we do and are accountable to SARS to ensure that we account for that and pay it over to SARS as and when needed.
Devin, you had your hand up. Would you like to ask a question?
Maybe to add.
Sorry, sorry about
ahead.
that. I had my mic on mute.
Okay.
Sorry, Kaki. So, okay, maybe finish your point and then I'll continue.
No, I was just filling the space. You can go ahead, Devin.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I was just saying, great presentation. Thanks for that. Just some depth to some of your partners and gave me a better idea of what some of them actually do. We just know them by name and on the surface. So yeah, one specific question from me. Short term, off late. So while above your benchmark has reduced quite a bit, what's happening in that space?
Yeah. No, definitely, and thank you for the question, Devin. So you are correct in highlighting that the short-term returns have dropped off a bit over the past couple of months. And the biggest driver to that is we've seen a slowdown in projects that are being awarded to our clients, and also we've slowed down in the number of quality clients we can actually work with. As a strategic decision as a business, we've taken a decision to relook at the sector, relook at our clients, to ensure that they are paired with the correct end user, and they are also executing on the correct projects in order for us to deliver a sustainable return. We are constantly actively managing that situation. And to a certain extent, with the change in government, with GNU coming into play, that has had a knock-on effect on the sector as a whole. So we are constantly just monitoring that situation and looking at how else can we be innovative in providing alternative solutions that will then service short-term investments.
Yeah, and just to add, in line to what Ayanda mentioned in the presentation about the products that we are looking at, we are looking at more products or offerings in the private lending space, which does tie in quite well with from a short-term perspective and what we've learned and the lesson that we've acquired over that period of the short-term investment.
Okay. Um, a separate but maybe related point is, just around some of the marketing, and I mentioned this to you when I met with you, and that is from a client perspective. But I wonder that from a partner perspective, how's your marketing around there, specifically, obviously through Mulaland, to get deeper into the market for more clients, more quality clients, etc. What are you trying to do around that?
Yeah. So I think from a marketing perspective, we've done quite a bit of marketing. I would say in the past 12 months, we've been very intentional, and the marketing efforts have been ramped up from a Mulaland perspective to try get in front of as many potential clients as possible. As Ayanda mentioned, we look at more quality than quantity. We would rather work with 30 high quality clients than 100 average clients. We're very relationship driven, so we do want to meet our clients. We want to have a very in-depth understanding of their business, have an in-depth understanding of who they are, and we would struggle to do that at a large scale. So obviously, what I'm saying is probably not the most. Some people think it's not the most scalable kind of business case from a Mulaland perspective. But I think it's a business case that ties in really well to what we always try to do, and that's always to protect our clients' interest and to make sure that whatever funds are put out, we are able to get them back without having any issues. Yeah. I hope that answers your question.
And to add to what Kagiso is saying, so we do focus on quality over quantity with the clients. And what we've seen that has worked really well is if you are bringing in clients that have sustainable contracts with third parties, and those contracts are over a longer term, it means it stabilizes the investment product from our perspective and consistently then delivers from a performance perspective. So to give an example, there's a client that Mulaland worked with, where when we started the relationship, they were probably getting contracts valued at about 30 to 40,000 Rand at any point in time. And we eventually built them up to actually acquiring 5-year contracts that are worth millions, and we were solely supporting that business. So that's our strategy around the partners and marketing Mulaland, where we're looking to mine out and spend time on bringing the right quality to ensure that we protect the investment and also the performance that comes with that investment.
Yeah, and sorry, just to add another point to also give a little bit more color and maybe to potentially answer a question that someone might have, is obviously when it comes to extending funds or assisting these businesses execute projects, as Ayanda's just given an example of a company that's grown in size and has have had the ability to execute much bigger projects and contracts. There does come a point where the companies sometimes no longer need us, and that is actually a great point for us. We don't want a relationship that goes into perpetuity where purely the businesses rely on our funding. And that's why we work on if we've got a group of 30 clients, the clients that are coming in, it's not a high number. It might be 5 or 10 clients that we're acquiring maybe every second month. And that replaces the ones that are leaving. So we do also want these SMEs to become sustainable businesses that are able to stand on their own and use their own cash flows to actually support their projects. But in the instances that they can't, which we've seen, some of them have come back and said we have much bigger projects now, and we require a bit more funding. And in that instant, we'll be able to assist them.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, I fully subscribe to and agree with your philosophy on quality. That makes complete sense. You have to, I suppose, in this space. Also agree with the fact that when they become sustainable, that's great. It means you've actually contributed. But for me, you've actually managed to hit this before with the smaller team that you've got. So it's more about trying to look for those new relationships and those new partnerships and getting that pipeline in place.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, that's fine. Thanks, you've answered me.
Thank you, David.
Can I ask another question while I've got the platform? I hope I'm not crowding out your space, or maybe go through the rest and come back to me.
Are there any questions? Okay, then we'll come back to you.
No problem.
Thank you.
We have another question. Someone had raised their hand. That is Obi Mukakani. You had a question to ask, or would you like us to, or has it been asked?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? So I have a question surrounding your social media presence, right? I think as I'm standing here, I'm standing from outside. I haven't invested in the company, but I've known about it since 2022, right? And I think when you talk about money, it becomes such a touchy subject because there's a lack of trust when we do not know who we're dealing with, right? So speaking from my perspective as a customer, right? I think my biggest concern more than anything, I think I've raised it on different platforms, that I'm ready. I don't even think I'm questioning the technical side of things, whether the company is going to do what it does. But I think I want to know more about the company, but then I don't get that through the social media, right? So I think just as a potential customer, that is a comment that I've made, I think, on Instagram, but I think this is the perfect opportunity for me to take that. I want to know what are the plans surrounding your social media, because I feel like first things first, the company has a very interesting and a very unique product offering, but for some reason, and another important thing, you have better rates than our typical banks, right? So my biggest thing is that I want to understand that what are the plans surrounding your social media presence? Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for that question, Kagiso. And I do know that we have had chats with you on social media. Sorry, camera. Oh, is it on? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So just in terms of the marketing, I'll just give you a bit of background. The marketing team is, Ayanda and Kagiso last year contacted myself and Udi to say that they would like to build a marketing division. So up till this point, I think up till early last year, a lot of the marketing was being handled by Ayanda and Kagiso. And because SV Capital was growing at such an exponential rate, they then required, a marketing division that's going to solely focus on running the social media, running the comms, and everything else that falls under the marketing umbrella. So because this is relatively new, there is a plan in place, we're basically introducing SV Capital to the market. And everything is planned out up till, the end of the year in terms of what are we communicating at which point. So just to give you a bit of background, we're currently going through the Venture Beyond the Ordinary campaign, which currently means that we are going back to basics. We want our clients to know about our 3 investment products that are available. And also last year we did launch our new platform. So there's also communication that needs to go out related to the platform as well. So there's a lot of foundational building, if I can say, that is being currently done. And also we are mindful of the fact that we need to constantly speak in the SV Capital tone of voice. So we are aiming to keep our communication as simple as possible, but also not to communicate too much. We pace ourselves out in terms of having 2 posts per week, and we sort of channel in a specific topic that we'd like to talk about, and any other insights that we pick up from our discussions with our clients. But what's important that I need to bring across is that we are on that mission to ensure that everything is understandable from the get-go. So you have a clear understanding of what SV Capital does, especially since we're playing in the alternative investment space. It's something that is very difficult to understand. And our aim is to ensure that the communication that comes across is as simplified as possible, but also paced out in a way that it isn't overwhelming, especially for an investor who has no idea, how investments work, let alone alternative investments. So I do hope that I have answered that question, and we always welcome any inputs and any feedback that you have for us. And that's basically the plan for the marketing division. It's basically a steady growth that we are embarking on.
Thank you very much. You've answered my question. I appreciate it.
All right, Arthur, I see that you have your hand raised, but there is a question in the chat from SM, and the question is, what are the timelines regarding new products? I would love to invest further.
Yeah. So I'm happy to take that. So thank you for the question, SM. So the timeline would be, we'll be looking to roll out the new products throughout the year. So we don't have a set timeline or set date on when each product will launch, but the focus for us this year is to roll out new products. So as and when anything has been finalized and we're ready to launch it, we will be sending out communication to all our investors just to highlight what the product's about, how it works, and if you're interested, then you'll be the first to know about it and you can sign up on a waiting list. So the goal really for the year is for us to focus on product development, because we've spent a long time with having just the product suites that we currently have. And we are well aware that new, exciting, fresh products are on demand and are needed by our clients, and that's what we're going to focus on this year.
I hope that has answered your question, SM. Now, Arthur, I think you can ask a question now.
It's cool. I think that's what I wanted to ask as well, was on the timelines for the new products. So it's cool. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? You can type it in the chat or raise your hand so we can allow you the space to speak.
Devin, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make a comment to Kagiso. Kagiso, when I first invested with SV, I had very similar concerns to yourself. And what I did was I picked up the phone, phoned Ayanda and went into the offices and met them, and they're really a great bunch of people. They're not going to run away with your money, and they've been fairly consistent, and their back office operates very well. So yeah, just from a medium, I'm not an old investor, but a sort of medium timeline investor, I can definitely vouch for them. Guys, my question was just around the reporting. I know you guys are busy developing. I just want to get a timeline on that. When's the reporting coming out?
Sorry, just to get clarity, reporting from a dashboard perspective for you to be able to.
Yeah, so to download, so remember in your old system you had that, I mean, I could download the raw data into Excel or CSV, whatever it was, and I could slice and dice the way I wanted to. So question number one is that coming? Is it going to be exactly the same in the new system? Because what you had in the old system was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So just to jump in there, Devin, I know I had the conversation with you when we met. So we are currently working on developing that CSV function, and that will probably provide more light on where we are with that and how it operates, and if it will actually look like the previous system. But I did give the feedback back to the team, and our developers are currently looking at how to implement how the CSV function worked on the new system as per the old system.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And your timelines on that?
Yes, actually, I'll be demoing today, so you will actually see the feature. You will see the feature on. So that's cool. Probably, that's basically been done from us, and it's just a push that needs to go out for an update, but it's been done.
Okay, cool.
Just a follow-up question there from SM. He or she is asking if the timeline for the new products would be before Q3.
So I'd say before Q3, we would have launched a product or two, but as I mentioned, it will be throughout the year. So the focus for 2025 will be to launch new products, but definitely we'll have something out before Q3.
And now we can have a question from Puleng Moloi, who may speak now.
Oh, yes, thank you. For me, it's not really a question. I'm just greeting. I'm an old investor and I'll keep coming back for more. Thank you very much, guys, for all you're doing. I know you've been around. So, yeah, I'm one of those who've been with you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Thank you. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I've just joined. I've been busy. But then I'm here, no problem. I keep getting in touch.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mepule.
Okay, all the best. Bye.
Thank you, Ma. And now we can accept a question from Nidam Dango, please. With that, you may unmute and ask your question.
Afternoon, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I think mine is a bit technical in nature. So I'm just trying to understand the significance of your investment periods on your products. 5, I think it's 12, and then 18. Why not have a 12-month period? So what is the significance of those differences? Thanks.
Yeah. So the significance of the periods is we wanted to give clients the ability to have money maturing in different periods. And we tied the products to reflect that. So to give you an example, using the delivery bike investment, the delivery bike investment is an 18-month period. The reason why is because the rent to own agreement on the backside of that investment is also 18 months. So the rider that is managed by OnFleet signs an 18-month agreement, which is a rent to own agreement, and he then pays on a weekly basis until the 18 months. So we've tied that to be the same as the investment. From a cattle perspective, we using an 18-month period because it's the a 12-month period because it's an optimum period for us to be able to deliver the great returns that we've been delivering, since 2017. From a short-term investment perspective, it's 5 months because that is the sweet spot from us funding projects and the projects being repaid. So we can have the products run longer. The beauty of the products that we have, you have the ability to reinvest quite seamlessly. So if you would like the products to be longer than 5 months, you have the ability to reinvest the funds, or you just leave them and they'll automatically reinvest at maturity, and you'll then provide us with an instruction when you need it. I hope that answers your question, Linda. Thank you.
We have a question from Siso Ngosi. He says, hi, here, just a quick one. We appreciate the fact that you're collaborating, with SmartVest Financial Services, which is a registered SFT. But is there a plan in the future to directly register the business with FACA as an FSP?
Yeah. Thank you, Siso, for the question. So from a SmartVest Capital perspective, it's a bit tricky for us to register directly with the FSCA. Reason being, our underlying products are not considered financial instruments. So because we deal in physical assets, that being physical cattle, physical delivery bikes, that is not deemed a financial instruments. In the past, we've had multiple conversations with the FSCA. We've even gone to the extent of sharing our business model and highlighting what exactly SV Capital does. But as it stands, unfortunately, SV Capital does not fit within what is regulated by the FSCA. From our perspective, what is regulated by the FSCA is the collection of funds and management of funds from investors. So hence why we split that function out, and it sits under SmartVest Financial Services to ensure that any funds collected from an investor and any funds paid out to an investor, those funds are correctly regulated. But from the underlying products that we have in SV Capital, until there's any new regulation that is issued by the FSCA, those unfortunately at the moment do not need to comply. But from our perspective, we always are in the position of wanting to comply. So we'll wait on the FSCA to release any new regulation, any new updates around alternative investments, around physical asset ownership in the structure. And once we get to that point, then you'll be the first ones in line to try to comply with that.
I hope this has answered your questions, Siso. The floor is still open for some questions. If you have any other questions, please raise your hand or type it in the chats. And if not, we'll continue with the demo answer. Thank you, Siso.
Is there a new question from the
Linda, do you still have a question as your hand is still up? I think we can continue to the Q&A session.
Okay, we've got two.
Oh, Simon. Simon, you can ask a question. Can you hear us, Simon? If you are unmuted, we can't hear you currently.
Okay, just in the interest of time, I will just suggest if Linda Mtambo, you still have a question, we're happy for you to type it up in the chat and we'll answer it after Kagiso has done his demo. Simon, I'm happy for you to do the same as well. Please, will you just drop us your question in the chat feature and we'll be sure to get back to your question and answer it. Should I hand over to you, Kagiso?
Yes, please. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to be going through the SV Capital website and some of the changes that we've made since we since we launched the new website. So we've taken a lot of our clients' feedback and we've tried to incorporate it as much as we can. But as Linda said earlier, we're still very much open to clients giving us feedback, and yeah, we're open to any feedback about how the site works or if there's anything that needs to be changed or made different. So just to jump on to our website, for any new clients that would like to invest or to sign up with us, you just visit our website, svcapital.co.za, and you would click here on the top right-hand sign up page, sign up button. Okay. Yeah. We've tried to make sure that the sign-up process is as short as possible, but we've had some feedback, and there will be some changes onto what you are currently seeing based on the feedback that we received. But this is what it currently looks like. So a client would enter in their details, and I'll just enter in a random email address. But obviously, as a client, you would enter in your email address. Otherwise, we can't send you communications, which is quite vital. We also ask for personal information. So your ID becomes quite important for us to be able to verify who you are, because we do later on ask you for you to submit your proof of identity, and that will help us, feature you as a client. So that's one of the reasons why we ask for an ID, which is some clients feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it is a requirement in order for us to be able to manage your money. Would you ask, where did you hear about us? I'll say social media in this case. You're more than welcome to read the terms of use as well as the privacy policy. In this instance, I've read it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sign up. Okay, you'll get to this page. It'll ask you to pick your favorite investment from the selection. The reason why we ask this, to give you some context, is it does help us create in the product creation and the future product creation. So we get a bit of an idea of what clients are looking at and what some options are. Obviously, this is not an extensive list of options, but these are just some of the options that we've put up, and these will change from time to time as and when any new things come up from our perspective. We also ask you about your investment knowledge. This really helps us understand some of the products that we can send to you, So if you say beginner as an example, that maybe the more complex products, we wouldn't necessarily send those to you when they are available. We would send them more to an advanced investor. Not to say you won't have the option to invest in it, but the communications that it's driven behind, when we send an email or when we're launching a new product or it's in pilot, if you're a beginner, we might not send you those complex products. Investment preference perspective, here we'd like to know your risk tolerance. Is it high risk? Is it low risk? This also gives us a lot more context as to the type of products that we should be creating for our clients. And just to mention, our existing clients that were migrated from the old system or the old platform to the new one would not have answered these questions here. That's because they were actually answered before in the old platform. So they've come through. This will be purely for new clients or clients that are signing up for the first time. Investment goals. This also helps us from a product creation perspective. What are you looking at? Are you looking to for income generation, capital growth, wealth preservation, or all of the above? That's what I will tick. And time horizon. So in line with Linda's question, this actually helps us understand what are the time horizons that our clients are looking for. If we find that clients are looking for more longer term type of investments, that's also what we would focus or give priority when we are creating new products. Okay, so once you sign up, it brings you right here to your dashboard. Typically, clients would see this, your account is unverified. This basically means that you haven't submitted your FICA documents yet. And to clear the message, you would literally click on it. It'll ask you for a couple of questions. It'll ask you for an address. You would complete your address. Just do this quickly. Okay, so once you save this, this will be saved directly to your profile. It will also ask you for your banking details. And this is a list of banks that you are able to select. If a bank that you bank with is not on here, you can select other. But in this instance, we'll select FNB. You'll enter the account number and you'll add the account. And then we'll ask you for your FICA document. So it's important that your FICA document format is in PDF. You'd literally click and you would select. Sorry, okay, sorry about that. You click, then you select, and you literally upload your FICA documents, which is quite a quick process. So once you've uploaded your documents, you'll submit them. When you submit them, we would then review them internally. So that takes roughly about 48 hours for us to review them. It might take slightly a little bit longer. If there is something wrong with the documents you've submitted, we do typically send you a message. You'll get it via email, as well as it'll pop up here where it says notifications. That message will pop up here and it'll tell you what's wrong with your documents. So once you land it on the screen, it's important to maybe just orientate yourself with what is here. So on the right-hand side, you can see all the investments that you have the ability to invest in. We highlight that the benchmark for the cattle investment, for example, is 13%. The benchmark for delivery bikes is 20%. The benchmark for short-term is 5%. We also highlight the terms and the minimum investment. This bar here, this progress bar, is showing how much further to go until this pool closes. So not until the investment as a whole closes, but the raising pool closes. So this is 9.04%. So the cattle investment progress or closure is determined, it's date determined. So we open and close pools every 2 months. And the delivery bike investment, as an example, is actually amount dependent. So this is driven by an amount. In fact, we just had a pool close 2 days ago. That's why it's on 0 at the moment. So when funds are then invested, then the progress bar will then continue until 100%. Short term is also time-based. So it closes at the end of each month. You then have the ability, once you've landed on the screen, you have the ability to then start investing. I'm just going to switch over to the demo environment so you can actually see what an investment looks like. So I can show you the full process. Okay, if you can just give me a moment, I'm just going to bring up different screens so I can show you what it would look like from an investment perspective. Okay, I'm just sharing my screen. There we go. So once you sign up as a client, as I mentioned, you'll see the products that are available on your right. You won't be able to invest until you actually deposit funds. So when you deposit funds, you would click on the deposit button. You would enter the amount that you would like to invest with us, and then you will be redirected to a payment gate called Oswell. We do note that some clients have been a little bit uncomfortable with using Oswell, and we are well aware of that. They're not comfortable maybe using an instant EFT function. We are currently working on providing clients the ability to use a card. So you'll be able to transact using a card, just like any other e-commerce platform. You'd enter your card details, and those, of course, will be stored securely. And we do partner with only, the best or the most reputable businesses when it comes to card transactions. So the provider that we do have will be a well-renowned global provider that does have the requisite certification from a data handling perspective. So once you then deposit your funds, the funds will then sit in the wallet. The wallet function is quite an important function, and I'll get into that shortly. But once you deposit the funds, they sit in the wallet, and to invest, all funds will come from your wallet to invest. So let's say, for example, I'd like to invest in the cattle investment. I'll click on invest. When I click on invest, it will then load. So it'll take a little bit long because this is our test environment. Then you will select the amount that you'd like to load. So it will highlight that it's the benchmark is 13%. It's a moderate risk. The minimum is 500. The term is 12 months. If you'd like to read up more or see some more information on the cattle investment, like previous returns, you can actually click on this function that says more or learn more. Once you click on learn more, you'll see the historic pools, and you'll be able to download the fact sheets for all these historic pools that are available. There'll be a little bit of a write-up on the cattle investment, gives you a lot more information, and it actually also plots the returns on a graph for you. And you're able, to download the latest fact sheet as well. So if we just go back, so I can just invest, so you can see what that full process would look like. So you then go place an investment, and let's say in this instance, I'll place a 5,000 Rand investment. We have a declaration that every client will have to read through and acknowledge. And also, we're more than happy for you to download the terms and conditions for you to read through those, and then you accept. Okay. So once you accept, then immediately your funds will be invested, and you will immediately note that your wallet balance will change. It will reduce by the amount that you've decided to invest. In my instance, was 5,000 Rand, so it's at 10,000, and your portfolio value will be at 10,000. So essentially, if I click on view all my investments, they'll sit here. It'll show that there's a 10,000 Rand investment pending, and if I just go back. If you actually look at this pending investment, you'll see that it's actually 2 investments that were made in the same pool. Just to highlight some of the really key features, or what we really like about the platform, or what clients have given us great feedback on, is the wallet function. So the wallet function gives clients the ability to, for example, also build up to the minimum. So some clients might not have the 3,100 Rand to invest in the delivery bike once off, so they might have 2,000. You are able to load the 2,000 into your wallet, and when you then do have the difference, you load it, and then immediately you have the ability to invest. The nice thing about the wallet as well is once your funds have matured and you selected the option to pay out or to cash out the investment, the funds will then sit in your wallet. Once they sit in your wallet, you have then the ability to withdraw or to move the funds into another product. So if you'd like to withdraw, for example, you'll click on this withdraw button. Okay, well, my instance, it's because my bank account has not been approved yet, so I won't be able to withdraw until it's approved. But you would click on the withdraw function, you enter the amount that you'd like to withdraw. So you can only withdraw the amount that's sitting in your wallet. So in my instance, it's 10,000 Rand. I can't withdraw 11,000, so I can only withdraw 10,000. And then once you withdraw the 10,000, the funds will then be pending to be sent to you. And that should be done within 48 hours. The funds should then arrive into your bank account. Another nice feature that we have is you have the ability to send someone a gift. So this is a really nice feature where if it's someone's birthday, as an example, from an SV Capital perspective, we say, give people gifts that really make a difference and that matter. Instead of buying your daughter maybe a toy that will break within 6 months, you have the ability to actually send them a gift. And it's quite quick and easy. You select the investment that you would like to send them. So it's a capital investment. You say, you provide the amount, you put the amount, whether it's 5,000, whatever it is, the recipient's email address, their full name, and you're able to write a nice message for them and then click continue. It gives you the ability to then send it. When you send that gift, the receiver will get an email and it will prompt them to then create a product, to create an account. Once it creates an account, then it's pretty much, when they log in, that investment will already sit on their portfolio. We also have the ability for you to update any of your details and the profile. Be able to come here, update any of your details. And yeah, you can change them as and when those change on your side. If you want to add more bank accounts, you have the ability to add more bank accounts on this side. Or if there's one that you don't use anymore, you have the ability to remove it. Another feature that we've added is linking accounts. So for those people that have minor accounts, you're actually able to link your miner's account on your profile for you to be able to manage. So it gives you the ability to actually look at your miner's account and basically manage it without having to log into their profile. And it's quite simple. You click on link member, you add the email address that the miner has used to create the account, and then you link it, and then it's pretty much done. And from a statements perspective, statements are generated on a monthly basis. You'll have the ability to download your statements here. I just want to cover what Devin was asking with regards to downloading of CSVs. So I'll just have to reshare in order for me to show that. Okay. So from a resharing of a CSV, I just want to check here. Is this the right one? Sorry, it's not the right one. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't seem to be winning here. Let's have a look. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna log in so I can just show the feature. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Okay. Just gonna show this feature. There we go. Just for Devon's sake, you actually currently now have the ability to download the CSV. It's actually been pushed and it's on the live platform. So if you do log in, you can click on statements on the left-hand panel, and then it gives you two options, either PDF or CSV. You click CSV, it'll download it in CSV. So I'll pause there and wait and ask if there's any questions with regards to what I've demoed, but also to just highlight that we do have an app on Android as well as iOS. So if you do go on your respective app platforms, you can search for SV Capital. You have the ability to download it, and yeah, you'll be able to use use the SV Capital platform on your phones as well. So I'll just stop here and just check if there's any questions.
Okay, so that the CSV is for a particular month. Doesn't it have a date range across various months? Yeah.
Yeah, so at the moment it doesn't have a date range, but it is a feature that the team is working on to include. So you'll have the ability to download a full CSV, like from the beginning to current CSV.
Okay, cool. And then the second question is the fields that you can download. Is that now everything that's available, or do you select?
So it's everything that's available that you can download. So from selecting, and so the date range and the selection process will be version 2 of the update for the CSV.
Okay.
We'll be able to give clients a range and the fields that they'll be able to download.
Okay, perfect. I mean, to make it simple, like your old platform, because that was brilliant.
Okay.
Cool. And then just one other question. I'm a bit OCD. So the reference number, all right, in the transaction history.
Yeah.
I can't, so I like to keep those numbers, and I can't copy it directly off the screen. It's like somehow sort of locked.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's currently not a copy. It's not, you can't copy. It's not a field that's you can copy, but we can enable the feature also in the version 2 updates. But
Okay,
thanks.
cool.
Thank you.
Yes, and I believe you can ask your question now.
Hi, Kagiso. While you have the mic, tell me, how does Mulaland safeguard against investment risk?
Yeah, thanks for your question. It's a great question. So we, like I mentioned, we partner with businesses that are, one, that are reputable, and two, that businesses that have gone through a rigorous due diligence process from a Mulaland perspective. So Mulaland does really in-depth checks to check, you know, has that business done purchase orders before? Has that business worked with the client before? Typically, if the business has never worked with the client that they want funding for, we wouldn't fund it. And then we also look at previous performance or previous behavior from the client that they're working with. So have they paid on time? If they say they'll pay within 30 days, have they paid within 30 days? Or if not? We also, what we do is we basically have access to the client that we're funding. We have access to their bank account. So whenever funds arrive or they receive funds in that account, we have the ability to then see that they've been paid, and we then have the ability to move, you know, what we funded, as well as the cost of the funding. We're able to move that out of the account. So as I mentioned, we safeguard by keeping the number of clients that we work with small and niche. We safeguard by making sure that they have a track record with their own clients, whoever they're executing the purchase order for, and we safeguard by making sure that we sit very high up on the food chain from a money collection perspective.
What happens in a state where there's no history?
We wouldn't fund those deals at all. So if it's a brand new, if someone's started a business last year and they have a purchase order and they would like to fund, they would like to get funding, we wouldn't fund it at all.
Yeah. Look, maybe we can take it offline. I've got so much questions around it, but yeah, maybe, yeah, just to get more clarity basically on the safeguarding of it.
No problem. More than happy to have a conversation offline.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from anyone else? Remember, you can raise your hand or just ask it in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll now just hand it over to Ayanda to just do the closing, and then we'll share our contact details just so that you know how to get a hold of us.
Perfect. So thank you so much for all of you that decided to join us today for our webinar. I hope it was insightful, and I hope it did provide a lot more detail about how SV Capital operates, how our new amazing platform operates, and gives you a lot more comfort to start investing with us. For those of you that have invested with us, we are looking forward to launching new and exciting products in this new year. So as I said, please stay tuned to wait for what's coming, because we are truly excited about those products that we're working on. So we'd like to thank you guys once again for joining us today, and we look forward to the next one. But if you do have any further questions, or if you have anything you'd like to address with us, please feel free to reach out to us.
Thanks so much, Ayanda. I've just put a slide on here just so that you can see where you can reach us. So obviously just the normal landline. If you prefer to give us a call, that's the number you can reach us on. We are also reachable on WhatsApp as well. We've noticed that a lot of our clients like to pop us a message if you need assistance with something urgent, and a call will take too long. We're more than happy to take any of your queries via WhatsApp as well. As you know, we are available on email as well at inquiry@svcapital.co.za. And of course, we do have a website, which is svcapital.co.za. And we're starting to see some clients that are preferring one-on-one consultations. So we are based on 63 Peter Place in Bryanston. So if you would like to pop through for a cup of coffee and learn more about our investments, you're also more than welcome to schedule a meeting with us there. And then we are also available, as you know, on all social media platforms. So it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter. We do have a WhatsApp channel as well, and we are available on YouTube as well for video content. Perfect. So I see that we've got a comment here from SM. We'll definitely be in touch with you after this session, so you can link up with Kagiso. But otherwise, thank you so much to everyone for your time, and we do apologize that we have gone over. Kagiso Mokgakane, I'll make it a point that I contact you today so we can convert you into a client and have a bit of a discussion. And we hope that everyone has a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.